Here you go, guys. Gonna do a video on installing this articulated mount for the sounder in the boat there. So yeah, I've ordered this from the States. This is a Balzout. It's called the Balzout gimbal. It's made in Alabama. It's USA. It's quite heavy duty, so that's what I wanted for offshore use. I'm just going to go through and I think it's a anodized finish. I just want to give it a bit of a polish before I put it in the boat, so keeps the watermarks and that off it. Maybe a wax or whatever. But yeah, it's got all. This is for an NS9 Evo 3, but fortunately it fits a Simrad NSS9 Evo 2, so that just bolts up there, and I've got the fixings there, so we had to mock all that up and get this ready to install. We'll go through it a bit more once we get it prepped and ready to install on the boat. Alright, cheers. Alright guys, just an update. I cleaned this down with isopropyl alcohol. It's got a bit of like assembly grease and that on there. I'll probably just replace it with some Tef gel. So I cleaned all that off, and then you can see this has been CNC'd, so there's a bit of marking on it, but you can't really do much about it, but it still looks pretty swish. Yeah, so I just waxed it with some 3M Perfected wax, and yeah, that should just help if any water gets on it, beat off and keep it a bit clean. So yeah, I'm gonna go through and do the whole mount, and then reassemble it with some new grease and stuff like that. So should look pretty good and help protect it. Alright guys, I've got all that anodized finish waxed up, so she's gonna look the part for a while. And I got all the grease off the fittings. I'll put some new grease and put some lanolin on the springs and stuff like that once I've finished mounting it up. At the moment it's just gonna make shit messy, so I cleaned it all off. Had a look on their website, and they're using bought their fastener kit that came with it, and they're using 18-8 stainless, which is close to marine grade. They use these mounts on like bass boats and stuff exposed, so I'd imagine it's pretty rust proof. But yeah, if they start to show signs of rusting, I'll get rid of them, but for now I'll use them. So yeah, so what they supplied was these. I think they're closer to M5. I don't know what they are, Imperial, but they're definitely Imperial. These M5 Allen key button heads came with it, the nuts and the nylox and the springs, and then I'm just going to add a couple of more washers up the top and a couple of nylon washers just beneath where it's going to touch the alley if it ever wears through. And I got a bit of turf gel just to put through where the thread's going to go through the alley block there, just for longevity, because this is quite a investment. Yeah, so I think that's a 1/8 Allen key that fits, and 10mm for the nuts, but it's a bit loose, so I'm pretty sure it's Imperial, being American. But yeah, that should do. Alright, I'll mount all that up, and yeah, keep it on. Alright guys, got the Simrad gimbal mounted up to the adjustable gimbal. Yeah, so I just went with the hex nut, a washer, and then a bit of Tef gel between the alley, and then what do you call it, nylon washer, then normal washer, and then nylock, and then that's the threads just pokes out and then locks into the nylock. So I've just done those pretty firm. I don't want to crack the plastic, but yeah, that fits quite well. So if you wanted to know if the NS9 Evo 3 bracket will fit the Evo 2, it does. So yeah, all good. And now we're pretty much ready for mocking it up in the boat and fixing it in place and all that sort of stuff. So that's the fun part. But what I'll do is get the boat ready, mask it all up, and work out a good spot for the sounder. Alright, cheers guys. Right guys, we're in the boat now. I've got the sounder mocked up to the gimbal, how I'm planning on mounting it. So I'll show you what I'm planning on doing is mounting it like that. I've only got two hands here, so it's hard to show you, but there's a puck there behind it, and plan on mounting it in the center there, and then yeah, should be able to swivel any which way. Got to do a bit of playing around with that, but what I'll do is I'll mask up the top here so it doesn't scratch up the dash, and yeah, I'll get doing that, and then we'll move on from there. Alright guys, I'll just show you how I've gone and worked out where to mount it. So I've measured the center, and then from the edge to edge, and then just put some masking tape on here, and then I just mocked it up where I want it to sit, and got the approval from the decision maker to put it there. So what I've got to do is use these two holes, which are straight, to align it, and then I'll drill the top hole, and then I'll drill the other three once that one's in place. So it's pretty accurate. And then the only thing you might want to check if you get this little bracket is that it's got these notches on it. So what I've done is I've put a center line there, and then mounted it, and then just made sure the center hole is straight with the mounting hole. So so as long as you have that hole and that hole straight, you know that you've got the bracket on a nice and perpendicular. So yeah, that's how she's going to look. And it comes with some mounting screws. I'll have to shave those down, the grinder, but yeah, basically I'm gonna screw that in first and then drill the other two holes. Now I might have a bit of drama getting the drill in there, we'll see. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve, so we'll see how we go. Alright guys, so I managed to drill this out. I've had to use my impact gun here with these little driller taps to get the hole started, just because to get the actual drill in there. Oop, that fell out. Yeah, I couldn't get it in there, normal drill on a drill bit, so I've used those, and just got an M8 there marking the center position, and I've if you can see that, I've marked the other holes. I'm only going to use the two outer ones. I don't think it needs 4 in there. I think that's a bit overkill. See how we go. We'll see how sturdy it is with the 3, and we'll see how we go. But yeah, so what I'll do now is take that out and drill the other holes out, and then hopefully we can bolt it up. Yeah, alright, cheers. Alright guys, I've peeled the masking tape off, and I've put some quick drying enamel paint around the holes just with the cotton bud tip. And what else I've done is the back plate, I've put some lanolin grease on there, just so that will make a bit of a seal, so if no water will get behind it, but it's I can remove it easy enough because it's in the interior. And what else I've done, thought, you know, it'd be a bit boring to add these in the video, was cut these stainless steel bolts, so I can get them under the VHF where that's mounted, just under there. And yeah, I'll basically gonna put some I'm gonna add to the kit some nylon washers and some spring washers, and then I'll use the washers and the other hardware that comes with it. Alright, and what else I'll do is I'll add some Tef gel on the threads there, so if it does chafe a bit, they're not going to bind up and that. So yeah, cheers guys. Alright guys, had the tedious task of getting the fixings behind the VHF and getting the spring washers and nylons and mudguard washers and spring washers and nylox on. So done all that, it's all tight now, and yeah, just wiped off the excess lanolin from around the edge there, and yeah, while I was at it, got a bit carried away and I just waxed the dash there, so got all the residue off and stuff. So that's all cleaned up. That's pretty solid. So what we're gonna do is dry fit the all the bracketry, and yeah, I'll show you how that looks. Right guys, I've got the sounder mounted, so that's the angle I reckon is going to be perfect for me. I can still see plenty out of the window, and yeah, I can still manipulate it anyway, which way I want. But yeah, there we are there. So that's how it's going to sit. I still can get to my VHF and all that. This thing is bloody solid, and that's why I bought it, because I didn't want to buy twice. There was a BLA one that had Allen key bolts, and yeah, I just thought that's gonna, from the bouncing and all that from going offshore, it's just not gonna hack it. So that's why I decided to go this Balzout mount. Yeah, and it looks the part, to be honest, it looks the bloody part. So we paid probably $300 more than the BLA one, but yeah, I think I'm gonna be happy with this purchase in the end. And yeah, so all we got left now to do is put a grommet in here so we get the cables through it to it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll take this Simrad out and show you what it looks like without it. Alright guys, so that's without the sounder on. So even that's yeah, not in your way. So you can really get rid of this if it's getting in your way, and you know, twist it out of the way sort of thing. But I think having the extra sound is going to be great for just running the maps, and then use this guy to run the fish. And yeah, the VHF's a little bit obstructed, but to be honest, I just put it on the dual watch 16 and 72 or whatever, like, and yeah, just off it goes. So I don't think there's a need to muck around with it. But yeah, it's a bloody Brutus mount. You can't even move it, man. So I've got some nylon washers underneath there that might give after a while, but we'll see how they go. I might just have to nip them up after a few trips. But yeah, it's a bloody stocky mount, so if you can afford it, you may as well go one of these guys. Yeah, alright, cheers. Alright guys, jumped ahead a little bit. This line here is the clearance of the VHF, so I just drew a line there and then measured what is it, 16 and then 16 again, so I got 32. Drew a line in the center and then marked in 30, so got a bit of clearance to put the lock ring on at the bottom. I'm just going to use, wherever it may be, 32mm gland to fit those ferrite cores through. Otherwise what you could do is feed the ferrite feed the wires through first, but the Ethernet and the NMEA got quite a large plug on them, so thought I'd do this just for easy access. That's just going to go there. It's not going to be the prettiest, but until I find something better, that's what's happening. And yeah, dismantled the bracket there, so I'm just using some what do you call them, bloody borer bits, step drill bits, and drilling through the bottom because I can't get a drill up here, so hence why I need the clearance, otherwise I'd put it a little bit closer. Alright, cheers guys. Alright guys, I managed to blast that 32mm hole and deburr it and all that, so it's nice. What I'm going to do now is I've got to paint that edge, clean it up, paint that edge so it doesn't give it a chance for the salt to get under it. Then I'll install that gland and then basically I'll lube all these threads up and all that, because I've got it how I want it now and it's all fixed in place. And then you can tidy up this cabling, get the cabling through, and yeah, finish the job off. Alright guys, I've let that hole dry overnight and ready to put the gland in, and then I've just fitted up this mount, put Tef gel on all the threads and washers and stuff where it makes contact with different metals, and yeah, pretty anal. Not sure if I spoke about that earlier, but just to help the threads not wear if I've got to adjust it, and just so it doesn't seize in place, of just put some Tef gel on all the threads and stuff like that. So yeah, so I've got this dummy mounted up. This is how I sort of want it to sit, so I'm going to have it sitting like that. So what I want to do is just get that gland in and then run the cables through and tidy up that mess there. So we'll get on to that. Hopefully I haven't missed anything from yesterday. Alright guys, got the cables routed and tidied up underneath. I probably will get a cover for these later on in life, but for now that will do. And yeah, that's the 32mm grommet. So I've got I'll just move this to the side. Hold on. So I've got a Ethernet, an NMEA, and the power hooked up. So this will share info with the main Simrad unit, and yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. The mount, I'll just button that up. That's sturdy as. Still got plenty of view out of the windscreen and that. And yeah, if it annoys you, you can just move it out of the way. So yeah, just have it to the side like that, or the other way. I'll have to give some more length on the cable, but the other way, like that, you've got plenty of view out the window there. So yeah, this is a second-hand unit. Picked that up for $600, and then the bracket, it's probably about the same price by the time you convert to US dollars and that. So pretty expensive exercise, but you know, that's vision, and yeah, I'm hoping it's going to make a big difference anyway. I'll just show. I might do another video on these units and how they link up, but basically turn that one on. This is the master, and that one there should eventually kick on if I've done it right. But I may do another video on that, because there's not much info on whether an Evo 2 will work with an Evo 3, which this is an Evo 3, that's Evo 2, and they share waypoints and sounders and all that. So yeah, it's pretty good. you wish. So that's there, and that will eventually load up. Come on. It's a little bit slower process, I'd say. And yeah, this will share the maps too. So once this one's got its point, so yeah, once that's found its GPS, not sure what's going on. Anyway, you get the idea. Oh, there we are. That's as far as I can zoom out. So yeah, alright, all good guys, cheers.